Guys, it's Lula. Wow, I kind of look like a villain superhero with my hat like that. We just woke up, we're going to the store. Okay, so I'm having this like really serious moment right now about living in the fray. A long time ago, when Ed and I were talking about Portland and where we wanted to live, and, you know, we were talking about 119th and Division, where I lived for, I don't know, almost 2 years or whatever. It was rough there. And it's what I call the fray, because it's not quite like Gresham in the suburbs. It's not downtown Portland. It's like, it's completely immersed with all different cultures. Of course, it's like in that area, you know, it's like more heavily Russian and Asian, but you know what I'm saying. But I call it the fray because when there's a vortex, which there are vortexes all over our planet, right? So when there's a vortex, there's a fray. And I am convinced that the people who live in the fray are from all over the galaxy. It's not just black, white, gray, you know, gay, straight, whatever. The fray is kind of a mentality. I think it just happens to be that it's cultural because that's the way it runs on our planet. For instance, Ed and I were just talking about, you know, we're trying to find land, we're trying to move, you know, I'm done fueling other people's dreams. I love it and I want to keep doing it, so let me rephrase that. I want to continue fueling other people's dreams, but I have to fuel my own. Because as my mama said this week, I was calling my mom and I was like, what's my destiny, mama? You know? I'm like, I woke up crying because I dreamt about my grandfather who came. I can't even talk about it because I'll start crying again because it was so real. And I know my grandfather came to me, and it's all coming together right now. So it's about living in the fray and not living in the fray. So just now we were talking about where we would live or where we want to be and all this stuff, and I said, you know, my sister just sent me a text, and she said about how my parents like living in Arkansas. She loves being on the Gulf. And I said to Ed, I go, just like I love being up here, you know, I mean, we're from the same family, but we live in completely different places because we want to be where we want to be, that feels comfortable to us, that we love, for us, you know. But for me, I'm struggling because I love the Northwest so much, but I need more sunshine. I just do. It's too hard for me. It's just too difficult. And when I look at the places in the Northwest that have more sunshine, I still just don't feel like it's where I should be. I need to be, I was like, okay, so I need the woods, I need blah, 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 I need this, I need that, I need that. And I just said to Ed, I go, you know, I have to be honest with you, I'm like, I've been sitting on this for a few weeks with Spirit, and every time I meditate and I cry or whatever, I'm getting this thing of like warmth and like, what do I need like for weather-wise? And I miss California. I lived in Southern California for almost a decade, and I love it, but it was too dry for me. LA was too smoggy. It was too, you know, every time I went back to LA, I felt like I was gonna die. And it used to be the place I loved more than any place in the world, you know? But as I grew into myself and my awakening, I started to realize, like, you know, what's better for me as an entity. So I said to Ed, I'm like, we need to really look into Northern California, because I'm like, the Redwoods, all that area. So stay tuned. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's interesting because we started talking about Mount Shasta, and I've had so many people who told me that, you know, I'm being called, I need to go to Mount Shasta. And I said, well, what about that area? And Ed said, what did you say? There's too many, what?
Why did you say nothing about Mount Shasta?
No, you were saying like the surrounding areas, there's too many crazy people or something? Weird people. And I said, well, that's because Mount Shasta is a vortex. I mean, if it's true what all these, you know, entities are saying all over the universe and on this planet, that underneath Mount Shasta is the entry to the underworld of our planet and all that stuff, then that would make sense, because it's like a vortex, just like Portland is a vortex. Vortexes are just places where spirits can go in and out of dimensions much easier. Some that don't know how to project themselves or whatever. I mean, that's a whole other topic, a whole other show. But anyway, it's about living in the fray. And I said to him, I go, I think what happens is people who live in the fray, like these crazy, weird people around Mount Shasta, these towns and stuff, I think it's because they're coming from all over the universe and people are trying to figure out how to live here. And the world is the most, this planet Earth, our world, is the most tumultuous time it's ever been. We need to be here right now. And a lot of us light workers, I've been reading for people so much this last year that have never been here before. They're really, really, really old souls, but they've never been human before. And that's been a whole new lesson for me about learning about, you know, a lot of my friends, we've been talking about like how many lives we've lived here. And I used to think it was awesome to have more lives. And I was like, no, that just means like you're a badass motherfucker or you're just someone who just can't fucking learn your lesson. Because it's like, I believe in my heart that if you come here, this is a whole different world and Earth. And I mean, at this time frame, in man's time frame in 2018 specifically, there's a lot going on. And it's just the beginning. You know, we're just at the beginning of our mass awakening. So there's a lot going on. It's about living in the fray. Some people need to be close to the vortex. They need to be close to the unknown. They need to be close to it. So it doesn't make them crazy, weird, maybe. But I don't know if it's really that they're crazy so much or they are someone who's an energy. Wow. Hello, sweet crow. Or no, I think that's a raven. Ah, awesome. Right in front of the car. Right in front of us. Anyway, I think that we're all, it's our energy and it's how our energy affects ourselves and each other. So I think some people have to live in the fray. It's like a holding station. Like even for me, when I was there, it felt so much like that room in Beetlejuice, you know, where there's all these different weird people, whatever. It totally, like, to me, that's what the fray is. It's like the waiting room in Beetlejuice. They're just waiting. They're waiting to come and go. Or they're waiting to figure it out. And like either they're gonna stay here and they're gonna go off and like get some land and have a really nice life, you know, or go get a job and go live in a city because they've never done that and they want to try that, you know. Because I see some people and they get so excited about things and I look at them like, what? You know what I mean? Like, and they're so amazing to me. And I think to myself, wow, that little thing makes them so happy. And I love that. Like, how cool, you know what I mean? Like, how humbling, how humbling. I needed that one for myself. Sorry, I'm feeling like, see, I feel like death. I need color. I need color in my skin. I need to be able to be close enough to drive to the sun. I gotta figure this out. Anyway, thanks for letting me talk it out. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being alive. Thanks, Ed, for being present. We're gonna go buy us some candles. I'm kind of tired of the rain though. Kind of tired of that. Because we've had one day of sunshine in I don't know how many days. And that's depressing. I'm an empath. Can't do it. Can't do it. All right. I love you. Peace, light, and love. Aho.